Hey, history buffs! Ever wondered if the Trojan horse was real or if Vikings really wore those iconic horned helmets? Today, we're diving into history's biggest myths and uncovering the truth behind these legendary tales. Get ready to see history in a whole new light. First up, the legendary Trojan horse. We've all heard the story from Homer's Iliad. The Greeks built a giant wooden horse, hid soldiers inside, and tricked the Trojans into bringing it within their city walls. But did it actually happen? While the tale is fascinating, there's no archaeological evidence to support the existence of a literal wooden horse. Most historians believe it's a metaphor for a cunning Greek strategy, possibly a siege engine or a deceptive ploy that led to Troy's downfall. So, while the horse itself might be a myth, the ingenuity behind it is very real. Next, let's tackle the iconic image of Vikings with horned helmets. Picture a Viking and you probably imagine a fierce warrior with a horned helmet. But guess what? There's zero historical evidence to support this. The horned helmet myth started in the 19th century, thanks to costume designers in Wagnerian operas. Actual Viking helmets were conical, made of leather or iron, and definitely horn-free. The real Vikings were fearsome enough without the added flair. On to another classic, Napoleon was short. The French military leader is often portrayed as a tiny man with a massive ego. But, in reality, Napoleon was about 5 feet 7 inches, 1.69 meters, which was average height for his time. The myth likely stems from a mix-up between French and British measurements, along with British propaganda to undermine his reputation. So, next time you hear someone refer to the Napoleon complex, you'll know it's built on shaky ground. How about Christopher Columbus and his belief in a flat Earth? Many of us learned that Columbus set sail to prove the Earth was round. In truth, educated Europeans had known the Earth was spherical since the time of the ancient Greeks. Columbus's gamble was not about the Earth's shape but rather the size of the Atlantic Ocean. He severely underestimated it, leading to his accidental discovery of the Americas. Turns out, he wasn't a visionary debunker, just really bad at geography. Let's bust the myth that medieval Europeans drank beer because water was unsafe. While it's true that beer and ale were popular, they didn't completely avoid water. Medieval people drank from wells and springs, and boiling water for tea and cooking also made it safer. The preference for beer was more about calories and nutrition rather than avoiding poisoned water sources. What about Cleopatra? Was she really Egyptian? Cleopatra VII, the famous queen of the Nile, was actually of Greek descent. She was a member of the Ptolemaic dynasty, which ruled Egypt after Alexander the Great's conquest. Cleopatra was the first in her line to learn the Egyptian language, embracing the culture of the land she ruled. So, while she is a symbol of Egypt, her ancestry tells a different story. Lastly, let's dispel the myth that medieval knights were chivalrous gentlemen. The romanticized image of the chivalrous knight comes from later literature and the code of chivalry, which was more of an ideal than a reality. In truth, knights were often brutal warriors, and their conduct off the battlefield was far from the chivalrous ideals we imagine today. So, there you have it, folks. History is full of fascinating tales, but not all of them hold up under scrutiny. By debunking these myths, we can appreciate the real stories and the complexities of the past. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more updates. Stay curious and join us next time as we uncover more historical truths and myths. See you then.